A sun-grazing comet might be visible right after sunset and a major meteor shower peaks. Let's take a look at what you can go out to see in the night sky for April of 2026. I'm Michael Martin, and this is Late Night Astronomy. This month's episode of The Night Sky is sponsored by Ouranos. Let's begin with our major story this month, what's been referred to as the sun-grazing comet. C-2026 A1 MAPS was discovered in mid-January, and at its closest point to the sun will be just a couple 100,000 miles above the surface of it. Its close approach to the sun might have it brighten dramatically, but will also make it difficult to safely view when it's at its brightest. But even if the coma surrounding its nucleus won't be visible because of how close it'll be to the sun, you still might be able to see the bright tail of this comet stretching above the horizon after sunset. To try and see its tail during its closest pass to the sun, go outside starting about 30 minutes after sunset on the evening of April 4th and look towards the west. The first thing you'll notice is an incredibly bright object. That's not the comet, it's Venus. As the sky continues to darken over the next 30 to 45 minutes, it's possible that you might see a stretched out glow of Comet MAPS' tail just below Venus. If you can't see it with the naked eye, a pair of binoculars might help you find the contrast between the tail and the dimming background sky. You may hear stories of this comet being visible in the daylight sky, but it'll be so close to the sun that it'll be too dangerous to attempt to view it until after the sun has set. After its closest approach, it will begin to rise back above the horizon, making its closest pass to Earth on April 6th. But it will quickly dim below naked eye visibility, making binoculars and a telescope your best bet to try to catch it while fighting the glow of the sun that has just set. Views from the southern hemisphere will have a slightly better prospect of seeing it approach the sun after sunset in the lead up to its closest pass, with your best chance to catch the tail above the horizon in the southern hemisphere being on the early evening of April 4th and April 5th. Predictions on how bright this comet might get are all over the map, but if it survives its approach to the sun and you're able to see its tail above the horizon, or the actual comet's nucleus itself during its closest pass to the Earth, please let us know where you saw it from and what your experience was like in the comment section below. Our next big event this month is a major meteor shower. The Lyrids peak around this time every year as the remnants of Comet G1 Thatcher interact with our atmosphere, creating streaks of light for you to go out to see and enjoy. The Lyrids will peak on the night of April 21st going into the morning of April 22nd. To see them, go outside around 11:30 p.m. on the night of the 21st and look towards the northeast. It's there that you'll come across the brightest star that makes up the constellation Lyra, Vega. Around that part of the sky is where these meteors will appear to shoot from. As the night turns to morning, Lyra will rise higher, leading to better views for those of you willing to stay up late or get up early, and thankfully, the moon won't be getting in the way this year at all. The best views of the meteor shower will be from the northern hemisphere at a rate of 10 to 20 meteors per hour under dark skies, but my friends in the southern hemisphere can still see some meteors as well, but at a lower rate. Before we continue with our journey through the night sky, I'd like to take a moment to recognize this month's sponsor, Ouranos. Ouranos displays a detailed yet easy to understand nightly forecast up to 14 days in advance, allowing you to plan your observing sessions ahead of time. On the nights you plan to go out, it will display hour-by-hour cloud cover, scene conditions, and overall sky quality. For those of you doing deep sky observing and astrophotography, it will show you the hourly altitude of those objects, helping you choose the best time to observe each target, and even allowing you to share your images in the app for others to see. One thing I really enjoy using personally is the light pollution map that helps me locate the best dark skies near where I might be traveling. It's available as a free and premium version through the Apple App Store and Google Play. And be sure to take advantage of the 14-day free trial to unlock all of its features. And I'll be sure to leave a link to it in the description below. Let's move on to our closest neighbor, the moon, by taking a look at its phases. We start off the month with a full moon on April 1st. Last quarter moon April 10th, new moon April 17th, and a first quarter moon April 23rd. The moon also makes several close passes to other objects in the night sky, including Venus and M45 on April 19th, Jupiter on April 22nd, and M44, the Beehive Cluster, on April 23rd. The two most dominant planets in the night sky this April will be best viewed right after sunset. Venus is by far the brightest object in the western sky and can be viewed right after the sun has set, and will continue to rise higher in the sky each evening throughout April. And be sure to check out a nice pairing between Venus and Uranus that will occur on April 23rd. As the sky continues to darken that night, see if you can spot both of these planets with a pair of binoculars or a telescope. Using a low-powered eyepiece in my 12-inch Dobsonian telescope, we're looking here at about a 1.15 degree true field of view at about 75 times magnification. The other planet dominating the night sky is Jupiter, and we continue to have excellent views of it throughout the entirety of April as it stays in the constellation Gemini. Keep tracking its Galilean moons with a pair of binoculars and the cloud belts of its surface with a telescope. You might even see the shadow of a moon move across its surface in an event known as a transit. Let's switch to the morning sky to check on some of the other planets before sunrise. In the early part of the month, we'll just have Mercury hanging out above the horizon. But as the month goes on, Mars, Neptune, and Saturn will join this planetary sunrise club. It will be hard to see them with the glow of the rising sun, but about 30 minutes before sunrise on the morning of April 20th, there will be a nice pairing of Mercury, Saturn, and Mars rising in the east, which should show up nicely in a pair of 10 by 50 binoculars, with even views of Mercury and Saturn in the same field of view through a low-powered eyepiece. Just make sure the sun isn't close to rising above the horizon when you're out looking for them. Another comet making its closest pass to the sun and Earth this month, albeit with a little bit less fanfare and excitement, is Comet C 2025 R3 Panstarrs. Comet R3 will be traveling through the constellation Pegasus as a telescope target, and you'll start to fight the glow of the rising sun as it makes its closest pass to the sun on April 19th. At that point, it will be difficult to observe until my friends in the southern hemisphere get to see it move back above the horizon, now fighting the glow of the setting sun after its closest approach to Earth on April 26th as a telescope target. Now let's leave our solar system behind and even our own galaxy behind as we explore our deep sky challenge for the month of April and kick off galaxy season. Begin by going outside about an hour and a half after sunset on a moonless night and face towards the east. Look up until you come across the constellation Leo. Let's start by using our telescope's finder scope to find the bright star Regulus. Start by moving across Leo until you're roughly halfway between Regulus and Curtan. The key to star hopping is to follow the pattern of stars using SkySafari or a sky chart of your choice. It's at about this halfway point that you will come across our first collection of galaxies. Let's switch to a low-powered eyepiece like the 20mm Houdini that gives me 75 times magnification and a 1.15 degree true field of view. M95 and M96 are our first two spiral galaxies of the night, and will probably show up as a soft round blur through your telescope. Just up from these two are M105, NGC 3371, and NGC 3373. Of this trio of galaxies, NGC 3373 will be the most difficult, requiring darker skies and larger optics to see. Try pushing your scope to a higher magnification to cut through some light pollution and increase the contrast between the galaxy and background sky as well, to see if it helps bring out these faint fuzzy objects. Let's move back to the star Curtan with a low-powered eyepiece and star hop our way down to the famous Leo triplet. I enjoy observing M65, M66, and NGC 3628 every year, and was able to capture more of their faint details using long exposure astrophotography a few years ago. Don't be discouraged when it doesn't look like images like this from astrophotography. When you're out with your telescope looking through an eyepiece, you're seeing light from hundreds of billions of stars that have traveled millions of years to reach your eye in your backyard. That's a pretty incredible thing. Those are just some of the most incredible things that you can get out to see in the night sky for the month of April. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and consider subscribing to this channel to join our growing community. But most importantly, let us know what you're hoping to get out to see and image in the night sky in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for your continued support, and clear skies from Late Night Astronomy.